Hey guys, real quick, I wanted to go over the instructions for this practice that you're going to complete today. So we need to make sure that we understand sentence types, and there are 4 different types of sentences, okay? You can use your foldable for this practice, but I want to go over the instructions first. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 are very straightforward. Just highlight your answer. You can use your foldable for these. I would recommend looking at those formulas because those formulas are going to give you your answers and help you complete this. The second part is where the instructions might get a little confusing. So before you can decide if it's simple, compound, complex, or compound complex, you have to identify your types of phrases. That means you have to break down each sentence. So your instructions tell you to highlight the independent clauses blue, dependent clauses purple, underline your subordinating conjunctions, which are your white buses. Remember the little trick we talked about, sub, and then spelled backwards, it's bus, okay? Highlight your coordinating conjunctions yellow. Those are your fanboys. Remember with your fanboys, there's always going to be a comma before it. If there is no comma before it, then it is not going to be a compound sentence or a compound complex sentence. Then I want you to highlight your answer choice. I don't care what color, it's up to you as long as I know what your answer choice is. So let's look at the first example. He realized that the touch of the hands felt cold and he was drifting off into a light sleep. So he realized that the touch of the hands felt cold. That first section is an independent clause because it is a complete sentence that can stand alone. Then I see something that's married, comma, and. Remember, they always go together. So I'm going to highlight that yellow because if I forget what I need to highlight, I can always go back to my instructions and look. He was drifting off into a light sleep. That is an independent clause. So when you know your parts of the sentence, that means you can highlight your answer choice. So my formula here is I plus I. That means your answer is B, compound. The next example is finally the obstruction of the piled snow was too much for the thin runners of the sled, and he came to a stop. Well, finally is one of those words that you might recognize from your white bus list. So when we go back up to our instructions, it says to underline the white buses. So I'm going to underline finally. Then the obstruction of the piled snow was too much for the thin runners of the sled. That is an independent clause. Remember, independent can stand alone. It's a complete sentence. I see something that's married. I'm going to highlight that, get that out of the way. Comma, and is a coordinating conjunction. It is one of your fanboys. And then I see another independent clause. He came to a stop. So if I see something that's underlined and something highlighted yellow, it's got to be a compound complex sentence. Okay? The next example says, while Dad was sleeping, we decorated the house for his birthday party. While Dad was sleeping. Okay, think to yourself, is that a complete sentence? Can it stand alone? No, it's a dependent clause. So I'm going to highlight that purple. We decorated the house for his birthday party. That is a complete clause, which means it's independent. So here I have the formula D plus I. And don't forget to go back and underline your subordinating conjunction. If my formula is D plus I, that means it is a complex sentence. Now I want you to go and try the rest of these on your own. Remember to refer back to your foldable for help. I know you all have these notes, so there shouldn't be anybody sitting here not doing their work. If you have questions, raise your hand and I will come by and help you the best that I can.